Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the Sweet Lavender Knits podcast. My name is Christine and I'm coming to you from just outside of Toronto, Ontario in Canada. Today is September the 29th, Sunday afternoon, and I am ready, just about to head out to my niece's first birthday party. And I thought I would take this moment while it is still light outside just to record a podcast episode and just catch up with you guys on what's been happening over the last couple of weeks. You can find me on social media, on Instagram as sweet_lavender1 and on Ravelry as sweetlavender1. We also have a lovely Ravelry group called the Sweet Lavender Knits group, so come on by, check us out, and if you fancy, feel free to join in and introduce yourself in the welcome thread. And there's also a let's chat thread where you could just join in the chatter and just ask questions if you have any about anything, or just join in the discussion for anything. So in today's episode I have a new KAL that I would like to share for the rest of the year, some finished objects, yes I said objects, and works in progress, and and some exciting news about giveaways. So why don't you grab your needles, something nice to drink, your favorite project, and let's get started. So as far as what's been going on, it's September, and I have to say the whole month whizzed by, and here we are at the last few days of September, and October 2nd is my niece's birthday, and first birthday. She's an October baby, but they plan to have the birthday party on the weekend just to accommodate everybody, and so here we are ready and just about to head out. So I'll just move this along really fast and try to not forget all the things I want to share with you. And you know what? It's fall. Oh, how can I forget? It's fall, guys. It's fall. And you know, I have to say spring is my favorite season, or the idea of spring now, because I find that due to global warming that we don't really get much of a spring anymore. It's just maybe a week at the most, or 2 weeks of real spring weather before we head into summer weather, or it's still very cold or something like that. So now I think I'm moving into my next favorite season, which is fall. And how can I not like fall? Fall is my, October is my birth month, and fall is my season, I guess. Although where I was born, there is no fall. There's only summer and winter, but in any case I have come to embrace fall, and for all of its perks, especially as knitters, because it puts you into that mood, doesn't it, to want to sit down and have a knit and get all cozy, but feel all warm, wear sweaters, and just come that feeling of coziness just all over, with the leaves already turning color. And I took some footage of a drive we went on yesterday, and I just loved the colors are not all there yet, but I know that sometimes it just goes from green to yellow and then falls off, right? And the other thing is, let's talk about a KAL. So it's been a while since we've finished a KAL now. The last KAL officially ended, I think, in July, and so I thought it would be really nice to do a KAL for the next 3 months, October, November, December, for the end of the year. And I haven't come up with a name for the KAL yet. I was thinking something along the lines of End WIP Down or something like that, and basically I think the name says some of it is to think of all the languishing WIPs that you've got, works in progress that you have on your needles, and if you want to get them over with before the year end, so you have free needles to start the new year. So I will be sharing my work in progress that I want to do for this KAL with my work in progress section, which is in just a little bit. But I do have a few things on the needles that I would like to get off the needles, and one of them is the work in progress I have. So yes, I was thinking of casting on. I know it's very short notice, but I think we have 3 months, so it gives you a little time. And because they're whips, you don't have to go hunting for yarn or, you know, needle sizes and all that. It's already there. I'm gonna start the KAL on October the 1st, and it's gonna go for October, November, and end on December 31st. We'll do it at that. And I would like to give away prizes on a monthly basis, and then you know, a big prize, maybe not a big, but a physical prize for year end, or the end of the KAL. And so that's the plan I have, and I think it worked out really well the last time. As far as the price is, not the timing, but the last time, and I'll try to be a little better with the timing this time. I will try is the key word. Yes, so that is something that you know, look out for it, and feel free. I'll open up a thread. Okay, let's stick to a name here and say End WIP Down KAL, and so you can, you know, hashtag it as SLK End WIP WIP Down KAL. Yeah, and let's get those projects off the needles. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. I'll try and get the thread open either today or tomorrow, so that it'll be there ready to go for October 1st. So it starts October 1st, and it'll get as many works in progress off your needles. So what I would really like, maybe to be a little more structured about this, is to have the first post that you have list all of your whips, whatever you want to enter for the KAL. And the reason I say is to list them out. You don't have to finish them all, but at least you have an idea of which ones to work through. And then as you work off of that one, you can come back to that post and edit it, and also add another post with your picture, or, you know, update or questions or anything like that, so we can sort of see progress on how we're doing. Let's try that and see how that works. I know I have quite a few, maybe about 3 or 4 items, projects on the go, that I would like to have finished by the end, but I'm not sure how many I will get finished. But you know, that's the whole idea, to try and work through it in a KAL, right? Okay, so that's all about the KAL. And now moving on to finished objects. I do have some giveaway news that I'll come back to in just a bit. So finished objects, here is one very still, I can't even say damp, it's almost wet finished object, and that is my pair of socks. Ta-da! It is still, yeah, like I said, wet, but here it is. And this is my tube socks, the socks that I knit from the Goomy 50, Bergere de France Goomy 50, and the colorway was IMPRIM CEIL. And I just knit a tube, basically cuff and then a tube. A tutorial that I was inspired by Ellie of Craft House Magic. So I knit a tube socks, tube basically, and then I cut into it and put in toes, and then went back and did afterthought heel, a true afterthought heel on both of these socks. And so now I have a pair, and you know, these worked out so fast. I was done the whole tube by September the 4th. I think I started them on September the 1st. These are my September socks, and I don't have a name for it other than September socks, so I'm calling them my tube socks. And yes, and I was done the tube by about September 4th, I believe, that first weekend. And then I put them away because I was working on something else, which I'll share with you just momentarily. Going back to the heels and toes, you can see that it's a nice sort of a heathered gray, and it is called charcoal. It's what is it? It's Holstgarn Supersoft. It's Holstgarn Supersoft, and the colorway is charcoal. It's a nice heathered colorway, and with Holstgarn, their yarn is so affordable, and I like it. It's got a little bit of the spinning oil in it, so while you're knitting you might feel a little greasy, not greasy, but sort of, you know that there's something coming off of the yarn. But once it's washed and blocked, it blooms like beautifully. I love it. So it's filled in, and these are still wet, not even damp, wet. But here it is, my first pair of tube socks, and I loved it. I loved it so much that I'm gonna do it again. So yes, my first finished object. And now I'm just gonna take off one of these so I can show you my second finished object. Just bear with me. So I did this test knit for lovely Hannah of Yarnia Designs, and she also has a podcast called Tales of Yarnia, so if you haven't watched it, go by, check her out. I love her aesthetics. I love her she's very soft spoken and calm in her style of podcasting, and I like that. Yes, she had a lovely sock pattern out that I loved, the colors on the sock and just the way it looked, and so I volunteered to test knit for it, and here is my finished sock. This is the cinnamon apple socks that I test knit for Hannah of Yarnia Designs. She also has a lovely podcast called Tales of Yarnia, so do go by and check her out. So I still have the other sock on there, so here it is. And I have to say, I loved knitting this so much, and I will definitely be knitting this pattern again. And the next time, my only regret with this one, it has nothing to do with the pattern, it's just my color choices, or my placement of the colors, I would say, is because I found that these two colors that I picked, although it looked like it was a very nice gradient, are too dark compared to all the other ones. The other ones are almost washed out by then, so I wish I had more brighter colors in there to sort of phase it out. And so live and learn, you know, that's how you do things sometimes, right? But yeah, lovely yarn, and all of these are just leftovers from other socks or projects that I've had, and you can't quite capture or, you know, see all of the colors there. I'm hoping you can actually. They're nice. They all have a little bit of pink in them, and Wool Barn plays in 2 of these yarns, I believe. And this is Stranded Dye Works Nougat colorway. This is I know the bright pink on the heel is Tulip by Herbsplat Regina, who unfortunately no longer dyes. This is Macintosh, I believe, the darkest pink, and this is I can't remember. I think it's another of Herbsplat Regina's colorways. Not, oh, actually no, this is Ellie's. What was it? I'll put it up on the screen. It was a really fun colorway to knit, and I used it for my February socks, in the Valentine socks. That's Ellie of Craft House Magic. So yeah, nice memories on that sock. The cinnamon apple socks, they come in so many different styles. They have width leg and shorty, and three or 4 sizes, I believe. And I opted to knit the shorty version. I knitted in the large as requested by Hannah, but my size would be a medium. That's why I did just the 1 sock, just to make sure that the pattern was all fine. But now I am going to go back and knit a pair of socks because I liked it, and I probably will do shorties, and I would also like to do the one with the leg. It was such a fun knit, and Hannah was so nice that she's offered us 2 copies of the pattern as a giveaway on the podcast. So thank you very, very much, Hannah, for that. And I thought I would be, you know, that's quite generous, 2 copies of the pattern. So let's do a giveaway both here on YouTube and another one on the Ravelry group. You can double dip. And that just, you know, means all the more fun, right? So all I would ask is that you comment below on the words cinnamon apple and what they mean to you, or what does that inspire or remind you of, or something, because I think that's such a fall name also, you know, cinnamon and apples. I'm thinking apple pie, but yeah. So you can tell me what cinnamon apple means to you, and how, if you win the pattern, which version you would like to knit. So yes, go on, comment down below, be a subscriber of the channel, give a like to the podcast, and the same with the Ravelry group. Be a member of the Ravelry group and join in there as well. So I will go ahead and open up a thread for the giveaway for the cinnamon apple socks as well. All right, giveaway is done. That was something that I didn't write down, so I had to remember to do that. So yes, I am so looking forward to fall. It's been great. So now, because I knit these cinnamon apple socks, I was only able to go back and finish the heels and toes on my finished object, my tube socks, and reach the end of September. So this is great because it's just puts me 2 days away from the next month for October, and I like to cast on a sock at the beginning of the month, and it was one of my goals in the beginning of the year to try and knit up 12 pairs of socks this year, and one every month or so, to end up with 12 pairs of socks. And I called it the Sweet Lavender Knits, or SLK Year of Socks, and that's the hashtag on Instagram. You feel free to join in. Many of you have, and they've been sharing the socks that they knit each month, and we have a thread for that in the Ravelry group as well. And at the end of the year, I plan to draw a prize for one of the posts from there as well. So my next sock is ready to go in the project bag here, and lo and behold, what do you know, I'm going to be knitting another Bergere de France, another tube socks, because I think that was so much fun. And you know, I do plan to do birthday cast on when it's my birthday in October. So I thought this would go by really fast, and so I could maybe try and have 2 pairs of socks for October. Fingers crossed. Let's see. So this is Bergere de France Goomy 50 again. I love this sock yarn. It's perfect for socks, and I thought I needed 2 50-gram balls for a pair of socks, but no, actually I can get away with 1. I just showed you that, and it's great because now I've just doubled you know, my sock yarn stash, I guess. And this is colorway is IMPRIM khaki. So there, IMPRIM khaki, yeah, and it's 50 grams, and it is just how do you say this, 75% virgin wool and 25% polyamide. It is really, really great for socks. And so there you go, folks. So feel free to you know, join in and knit with me the 1st of October, cast on for a pair of socks for the Sweet Lavender Knits Year of Socks. And that is my plan for the 1st of October, and along with the KAL. So moving on to works in progress, I will show you the one that has been my primary work in progress. While just as soon as I cast off for the socks, I picked up a languishing whip that I've picked up on and off. And yes, if you guessed it, you're probably right. This is my Rocquaine pullover by Christina, Danace, and I picked it up again, and I've been working on it the last two days or so, and I am quite happy that I can share some progress with you. So it is a bottom-up pullover, and it's supposed to be a little crop, but I'm going to make it a little longer. So the last time I showed you is where this lovely progress keeper is, right there, and then right after that, maybe about a row after, I had to take off some stitches in the middle and then work the shoulders or the sides up to the shoulders and then bind off for that. And then this morning I did a few more rows, and I have now come on to the back. So the last time when I was sharing this in a little more detail, I was talking about how I wasn't happy with some of the stitches being uneven, and therefore I wanted to use this as my, although this was intended to be my front, I was going to do it as the back because they're mirrored really. Or they're the same, not mirrored, but they're the same. And then someone had commented saying that it wouldn't really matter because once I block it, it wouldn't show. So I'm hoping that is the case, because it's a lot easier for me to, because I had to switch my mind when I thought it was the back, so I was knitting the pattern for the back before the front, and so there were things in there that I had to skip to for the instructions for the back and things like that. So then I just switched back, you know, after I read the comment. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I haven't blocked it yet, and I think it'll even out. So I'm hoping that it will, because now I'm just knitting it, getting it all, you know, done with, and then I guess I could still at that point decide which is the front and back before I do the neckline, or maybe I do have to decide before then. I'm not sure if there's any short row shaping. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I try to read just a little bit ahead, but not all the way to the end of the pattern, because sometimes I think it scares me into thinking I'm not able to do it. So I'm the sort of person who just jumps in with both feet and, you know, tries not to think about it. Not good advice, but you know, that's the way I roll. So yes, that is my work in progress, and I am loving it. The yarn is by Knit Pick Stroll, and it's the DK weight, and the colorway is Bordeaux. And I love the color. It's just a nice, another fall color, sort of like a pop of color, but a jewel tone, and can't wait to be, you know, can't wait to have this sweater ready, or sweater ready to wear. So this will be my entry, well, not my entry, but this is what I'm going to be knitting on for the year-end WIP Down KAL that we're going to start in October, right? So I will work on it, and you know, it's a WIP, so I'll continue working on it, and hopefully I'll be done before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. So yes, I hope you all are having a wonderful week. I think I've covered everything I need to. I'm just taking a quick look at my notes there. I think I've covered everything I need to. We really need to get to that party soon. So it's been really nice chatting with you, and you know, without any editing, I'm at 25 minutes right now, so it's going to be a shorter one for sure. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I hope you get lots of knitting done, lots of crafting done, and I'm sure there was something more that I wanted to share with you that I will probably have to leave for the next time. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy knitting. Bye bye.